All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great session with the presidential candidate of the fictional Common Sense People's Party. Now, yesterday, the Amnesty International released a statement condemning the killings of now over 155 persons in Plateau State on Christmas Eve. The Amnesty International boldly said that the government did not care about the lives of Nigerians, and that position was easy for them to take because after just 60 days in office, the same organization told TINUBU that over 200 Nigerians had died as a result of insecurity alone, and that he needed to be more proactive. But 5 months down the line, the killings have increased. So they said, listen, old man, you don't care about your people. But Amnesty International are not the only international community interested. Just few hours ago, the president of Hungary came out and issued a very strong statement. And this is so important because unlike other leaders who would love to be politically correct, the president of Hungary, Katalin Novak, came out and spoke the mind of every honest Nigerian in that statement. APC and their gullible supporters have gone into hiding ever since that direct statement dropped from a senior member of the international community. Before I show you what the president of Hungary said, let me quickly show you this update that underscores the shamelessness and wickedness of these so-called leaders in Nigeria. Look at how it was reported. Governor Mutfwang pays homage to TINUBU in Lagos as bodies pile up in Plateau herdsmen attack. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang, alongside his counterparts in other states and Vice President Kashim Shettima, paid homage to President Bola Tinubu at his Bodilon home in Lagos on Tuesday to mark the festive season. This is despite the Christmas Eve attacks in Bokos and Barakinladi local government areas of Plateau by suspected herdsmen who killed 162 residents and injured 47 others. People's Gazette had earlier reported hearing from security and local chiefs that the attackers executed a string of coordinated attacks on at least 12 communities spanning both local council areas. However, 48 hours after the attack, with corpses littering the state, no arrest of the culprits has been made. The state's chief security officer could be seen in a viral group picture of himself and his colleagues with the president and his vice. The governor, who spoke on a Channels TV program on Tuesday, said terrorists had occupied some schools in the past years. He said, as I'm talking to you today, in Bracken-Ladi local government, schools have been occupied by these terrorists for some years now. Not less than 64 communities have been displaced, and the lands have been taken over by these marauding terrorists. I will be talking to Mr. President on this. Earlier, Mr. Mutfwang vowed to proceed with a planned Yule Jam amidst rising fatalities from the weekend-long assault on Plateau communities, telling the Gazette that the deadly rampage won't alter his government's schedules because it did not affect the state capital, Jos. As the attacks were underway, the governor posted a video on his X handle announcing December 31st and January 1st for an upcoming party that will feature Wyclef and M.I. Abaga, a Nigerian entertainer from Plateau. M.I. lamented the violence and prayed for victims in an X post on Monday. Now, we are talking about attacks in Plateau State. We are all crying that why is this happening? But the governor of Plateau State took himself to Lagos that he's going to pay homage to TINUBU. He even said that the concert that was supposed to hold on the 31st and 1st of January, where he will call Wyclef and M.I. to perform, that the concert must go on. That this attack will not stop the concert. So this man wants to hear Diallo, Diallo by Wyclef when people just died. Because it doesn't concern him. These are leaders who do not have passion for the people. And this is what we are talking about. What a shame. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, someone who cares about his people would have cancelled any trip or function outside the state. A FaceTime call could have saved this show of shame. I'm telling you. And this tweet by Olasupo Jake says, Nigerian politicians are useless, very useless. Bello Oluwatosin here says they are the ones doing the killings. We are not just paying attention to good detail. When we are ready to wake up from this slumber, we will. These politicians are the ones. We have said it here before. And this tweet here says, TINUBU ought to pay condolences to relatives of the bereaved, not the governor going to pay homage. Nigerian politicians are the most selfish and wicked people on this planet. You are right, my brother. Ayola Joseph here says, this is lack of sensitivity to the plight of the people in that state. Ben Rula says, he went to kiss the ring while bodies are piling up in his state. What a pity. Daramola here says, this is so uncalled for. All appointments should be cancelled and focus should be on the victims of the massacre. All lives matter. We are no longer in Stone Age where a group of people invade other communities to wreak havoc under disguise. Sadly, this is what the Fulanis want to keep doing, and the APC is supporting them. This one says, very heartless and useless leaders. Yes. And Ayete here say, who is supposed to pay homage to who? My brother, if you ask me, who I go ask? Ben Bella here says, irresponsible governor. And this tweet by my name says, a Peter Obi as president will send this man back to his state to take care of his people, especially after losing over 100 people. No time for nonsense. But the consequence of illegitimacy is that you have to service your ego first, even if the country is burning. Now, let us listen to what the president of Hungary, Katalin Novak, said that is causing a storm in the APC and TINUBU camp right now and is the most discussed topic in the media as we speak. She wrote, brutal attack on Christians at Christmas in Nigeria. According to certain news outlets, more than 100 people were killed. My thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims. This massacre must end. Persecuted Christians must receive help. Now, this is the voice. These are the kind of voices that we desire, because we already know that all these things are planned attacks. Anybody who wants to feign gullibility can continue to feign gullibility. But if you look at the way everything is orchestrated and carried out, you will know that these things are planned attacks. And when they happen, you will not see any valid response from the people in power. And it looks like they have an agreement with them. Personally, I believe they have an agreement with them. When voices like this start coming up, you will now see the way they crawl back into their shells. And ever since this statement dropped, APC and their gullible supporters have been mute. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet says, she spoke before our pastors. And that is the problem with the Christian body. They don't stand up. We don't stand up for each other enough. Look at when the killings in Kaduna happened. Every Muslim elite was talking about it. And I predicted it then that when it happens in the Christian community, you will not hear Christian elites talk about it enough. And now it is happening. And this tweet here says, please help me tell them, help me tell Shetima that what his brothers are doing must stop. And this tweet here says, in spite of the lies, the world knows and sees what is going on. It has to stop now. Thanks a lot for lending your special voice. That is it. Now, a lot of people may still have their doubts, but for me, what is happening is clear. This is an ethnic cum religious war. These Fulani terrorists have seen that their desire to take over the entire Nigeria will never materialize. So out of anger, they attack the Christians in these suburbs, in these villages, to cut short their lives and then to see how much of their lands they can grab. In my opinion, if you live in a village or close to a village anywhere in Nigeria, the job of securing your lives should be handled by you, because the government won't handle it for you. You have seen the governor of Plateau State visiting TINUBU to pay homage while bodies are piling up in his state. You have heard him say he's going to go ahead with the Wyclef concert. Those men are not ready, and the entire Nigeria must also know that if we do not get the APC out of power, this thing will not stop in this country. It was Ondo State last year. It was Kaduna last month. It is Plateau State today. Where will it be tomorrow? Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So don't go away. Don't